So yoga for hips. Are you in for some hips tonight? We're gonna start off with a strap, probably after a few just warm-ups. So we can go ahead and start to warm up our bodies. Of course, we wanna start to warm up the spine. Begin to feel the sits bones pressing into the floor. Maybe make some circles. Maybe here with the abdomen. I still think it's funny that I was like, hey y'all. Sorry. Kind of circling here and then circling the other way. I always do this, and then this kind of releases air up, you know, because I ate dinner already. Oh, I made bread today. I wanted to bring it up here and show you, but I thought maybe that, I guess it would be okay because you can't smell it, but it smells so good. It certainly has been a minute. That's all right, welcome back. All right, so we're just circling here, pretending like we're drawing a circle with our belly button in the air, kind of this way. They're lying right now. And breathing and finding neutral, just coming to stillness here. So starting to set the intention of everything that has happened in the day, everything we have to do, we're just gonna set it outside this space. So this is me and you here. It's me and you in this space. We're gonna take care of our hips today. We may sit a lot, or maybe we're standing a lot, or both. So this class will focus on kind of opening that up. All right. Taking in a deep breath in through the nose, all the way down into the belly, and exhale that out all the way. Definitely do. He's so sweet. He's so sweet. Inhaling in, and then like when you think you can't inhale anymore, bring in just a little bit more air, and then exhale out. Once you get to the bottom of your breath, exhale out even more. Press it out, press it out. It's really good for our lungs to do that, and inhale in. And that's how you start to get full range of motion with your breath. And breath is key here in yoga, no matter what poses we do. So important. And if you start to get a little bit lightheaded with the breath, you're welcome to just kind of slow it down a little bit. And begin to feel your shoulders dropping away from the ears. I'm going to start to stretch into the neck. And dipping one ear toward one shoulder. So maybe right ear toward right shoulder, right hand on the floor. Inhale. The left arm up and over. So maybe it feels good to kind of reach back and up, or maybe it feels good to kind of reach forward. So this is your practice here. Do what feels good, and then you'll start to feel a stretch down the ribs, and then press that left hip down into the floor. On your exhale, we're going to sweep the top hand down. Inhale the right arm up and over, pressing that right hip down into the floor. Maybe taking a little bit of rocking motion forward, and then opening it up, open, open, open. And as you rotate here, notice you feel in the abs, like around, like the obliques here, the side abs. Kind of working there and pressing the hip down, sweeping the top hand down on your exhale. Deep breath. All right, let's go ahead and come around to hands and knees here. We're going to start to bring some waves into the spine. So here's the view that I was like, hey, y'all. Waves into the spine. So pretend it's like an ocean wave. Maybe starting at the crown of the head. And then getting that wave to go all the way down to the tailbone. Just gentle. And then maybe swaying from side to side, as if your belly button We're tracing a smile in midair. Thanks. Yeah, it's kind of exciting. I walk in here and I'm like, wow, it looks like a completely different just space. It looks so different. And it's not done. It's a work in progress. All right. We're going to tuck those toes under and send the hips up to the sky. Softly walk the dog here. Gently send one heel down while bending the other knee. And then switch. Nice deep breath here. Head hangs nice and gentle, pressing the palms into the floor, spreading the fingers apart nice and wide. And then coming back down, we're going to warm up the body. Exhaling the left arm forward, right leg back. So opposite arm and opposite leg. Maybe rotate wrists and ankle here. And then the other way. And try not to collapse here into the wrist. You're going to press with your whole hand. So not just with the wrist, but with even the fingers, using the floor as a prop, pressing it away. Yeah, so if you're collapsing into it, your shoulder might start to sink down, but you want to press that away. Try to press from the core here so that you can feel a connection between the navel, the shoulder, the wrist, the back, and then releasing hand to knee down. Inhale the opposite arm and leg up. Yeah. And then rotating, warming up the body. Those left fingers are spread nice and wide apart here. And doing our best here, notice that my left hip was coming up, so I'm going to keep both hips even. And releasing that hand down. And then shifting the hips from side to side. Starting to get in to the hips, and then let's add a little bit of a circle here with the hips. Yeah. Maybe the hips sink gently back toward the heels. And as you do, you may feel some compression, gentle pressure here in the hip flexors. And then circling the other way. Oh, very nice. Coming back to neutral here. We're going to tuck those toes under, send them back to the sky. Send the hips back to the sky. I'm going to walk the hands backward to the feet. And we're going to inhale to halfway up here. And exhale, forward fold, bending those knees. Let your torso drape and lean and just relax on your thighs. And let the head hang. Nice and gentle. The hands can just kind of flop down onto the floor. I can hear Guinevere snoring. Another deep breath, and exhale, we're going to walk the hands out, coming into high plank. So here's a nice way to warm up the body. I'm coming onto my side plank, but you don't have to go to side. We're just going to do high plank. Knees are totally welcome here. Do what's best for you. Notice, roll shoulders back and down. Breathe, and then maybe start to notice the little tiny shakes in the body. Woo. Exhale here, lower down. Good. Point those toes. Inhale, peel the chest away from the floor. Exhale down. Back to child's pose here. Breathe in nice and deep. We're going to press our hips up into tabletop. We're going to inhale that left arm forward, right leg back once again, and then exhale, draw the knee and elbow toward each other, and inhale out, and exhale. knee and elbow toward each other, and inhale out. And it can be any emote. It doesn't have to be like Grace Yoga emote. You know what I forgot to turn on today was my Grace Yoga bot. Inhaling arms and legs out, and then bringing palm and knee down to the floor. Inhale the opposite arm and leg out. Exhale, drawing the knee and elbow toward each other, and inhale out. Oh, there it is. Yay! So you saw your emote fly across the screen. Thank you, Dragon Maiden. Fishy Go Roars, did you see? I wasn't even watching. Did you see Benny and Gwenny? There they go. So I'm trying to add something a little bit special there. Yay! Something special and fun. And then we're going to place palm and knee down. Alrighty. Let's get into these hips now. All right. We're going to come up to plank. We're going to inhale that left leg up to parallel to the floor, if you would like to. One last little focus on the abdomen, and then exhale that knee forward behind that left wrist. We're going to walk that heel, that foot over to the right just as far as you'd like. So if you need to keep the heel back toward the hip, toward that right hip, that's okay. Kind of test the water, see what that feels like. And how far down are you able to come? Or you can start to kind of inch that foot forward so that the shin is a little bit more parallel with the front of the mat here. And then you'll start to feel that wowza in that left hip. Hello. And if that's too much, if it starts to hurt, if you start to get numb, just bring that heel back to where it feels comfortable for you. If this is just like way too much, and I demoed this last night, so if you're with me, this might be a repeat. But if it's way too much, come on down to the floor on your back and then cross that left leg over the right knee and then hug that right knee in toward the chest, either grabbing underneath the thigh or above. Now you don't have to switch to this. You can just do, it's a modification. So you can do whichever one works best for you. So that was reclined pigeon, and this is just traditional pigeon with our hearts facing the floor. This one is a bit much on the knees. So if you struggle with knees, it might be best to do the reclined version for you. So this might give you a better angle, maybe, of this leg being more parallel with the front of the mat. And it's going to be way more challenging with a leg like this than with it back toward the hip. Everybody's different, so just make sure you listen to your own body and do what's best for you. If you'd like, you can bring the heart closer to the floor or stay up. And just kind of come into this present moment for just a moment, for a few breaths, and make sure this feels safe for you. You're welcome to use a block here under the head. Sigh that out. So deep breath. If you start to notice your breath becomes shallow, it might be just too much. So make the pose, adjust, make those micro adjustments that you need, so that it doesn't hurt, so that it feels actually kind of nice. And then begin to focus on the breath, taking it deeper and deeper in through the nose and out through the nose with that ha quality, like the very warm quality. Darth Vader breath, walking the hands back, sending that left foot back, coming back into plank here. Knees are welcome if you'd like. Raising the right leg parallel to the floor. So this is demoed with the left knee down, or you can have the left knee up off of the floor. It just depends on where you're at in your practice and what you want for today. On your next exhale, you'll draw that right knee and place it right behind the right wrist, and then start to walk the right ankle over toward the left. Just kind of seeing which works best for you. So maybe both sides are the same, or maybe they're slightly different. We're gonna sigh here. Notice if the shoulders start to want to like, then just take a breath. It's always an option to go back onto your back, which I'll demo again here. You can stay there in pigeon if you'd like. But then this might be a good angle here so you can see how the ankle sits on top of the knee, on top of the left knee, and then you would draw that left knee in. So that might not be the best angle there. Sorry. But it might be good to see just for alignment purposes. And once you've gotten to the place where you're like, okay, I know where I want my shin to be. We're going to take some breaths, and then we're going to walk the hands out into pigeon pose. If you'd like, maybe you place your head on a block here. Remembering our intention for our practice. So one intention that I've been working with is, today is the best day of my life. Just breathing here. Yoga's all about the breath. So it's not about getting into that perfect yoga pose. It's about doing the modification that works best for you. Listening to the body. Left hip is looser, that's good. My left hip is always tighter than my right hip. Oh. I must do extra lunges on that hip or something, I don't know. But it could be from like maybe sitting one way all the time. When you're ready, we're gonna walk those hands back, tuck those back toes, lift the back knee up. So lift that knee up off the floor first. And then get your palms where they're just about underneath the shoulders. Fingers are spread nice and wide, and just adjust the body so that you are aligned, so that your wrists are underneath your shoulders. Then you'll start to peel that right knee away from the floor, and then step back, into high plank once more. Rolling shoulders back and down. Knees are welcome here if you like. And then you'll lower down, bringing the chest touching the floor, chin touches the floor, and inhale, peeling the chest away. Maybe not coming up this high. This took me a while to be able to do this. And then pointing those toes. And then exhale, we're gonna sink those hips back toward the heels. This time, we're gonna do it with the knees wide. So go ahead and make the adjustment to bring your knees nice and wide, away, like as wide as the mat. The big toes are slightly touching, so that angle may not be the best. Let's go to the side there. So you see how my shins are kind of angling in like a V, and the toes are just slightly touching, just slightly here. We're gonna go ahead and bring our head down to the floor. Begin to feel an opening in the back of the sacrum, and you're welcome to have a prop here underneath the head. Maybe a pillow. You're welcome to bring one underneath the hips here, or both. So you can have two pillows. Maybe use your block here. I remember not being able to bring my hips all the way down to my heels here, but in time it happened. I even had someone tell me they were finally able to touch their toes, which is amazing. Celebrate. Here, just focus on your breath. Bring your breath all the way down into the abdomen. Whew. Bring the breath down, inhaling, but also feel the breath expanding behind the rib cage, behind the shoulder blades at the top of the rib cage. And then exhale, press your way up to hands and knees to tabletop. Alrighty, here we go. So we're gonna bring our left sole of the foot between both hands. Might need to go to this side of you here, yeah. We're gonna start to sink down. We're gonna bring that left arm on the inside of the left knee. And maybe start to sink down. Now blocks are welcome. Oh, I heard a pop right there. So we've gotten into our hips for sure. Like we went straight for the karate, like right into the hips. Yeah. On that pigeon pose. That pigeon pose is definitely a hip opener for sure. Kind of adjust the hips to where they feel like, I don't know, just kind of make some natural movements that feel really good. Maybe you sink the hips down. Maybe you want to start to send the hips back, straightening the front leg, walking the blocks backward if you're using blocks. If you don't have blocks, you can use books or even tightly rolled up towels or any type of support that you have. You can just take a glance around what's available. So here, start to notice the stretch in the back of the thighs and in the back of the calves. And then we're going to bring those toes slowly forward and pointing up toward the sky. Wowza. Again, hello hip. Nice deep breath. And exhale, maybe bending that knee back. Coming back into kind of a low, it's kind of like a low runner's lunge with that back knee on the floor. Do you have food for after? Good, that's good. Well, you can even use like a towel if you would like. And Vantana actually told me today that Five Below sells yoga mats for $5. So I don't know, I have not checked it out myself, but I think that's a pretty good deal for a yoga mat. If you'd like, you can walk your hands back, straightening that front leg again. I'm so glad that you're here. Like, so happy. Yeah, so apparently Five Below opened a website, like started selling their products online just recently. Walking the hands forward, bending into that front knee once again. Now we're going to plant the left hand on the outside of that left foot, kind of centering our palms underneath the shoulders once again, and then drawing that front foot back, coming into tabletop. Now just take a moment here and just notice. Treat yourself. Awesomeness. And then we're going to bring that right foot up. Just notice the difference. Notice the difference from one hip to the other, just after kind of lingering in those spots and breathing, using the breath there. Maybe here we grab our blocks again. I love Parks and Recreation. Like, I started watching that show, and it was actually one of the only shows that I started watching and I introduced to like me and my husband for us to start watching together. Usually it's him who picks out all the shows, but I love that. Treat yourself. That might be a good place to get a yoga mat, or if you see a fitness mat, those work pretty good too. We're gonna bring that right hand on the inside of that right foot. And these blocks have 3 settings, and these blocks hold up pretty good. I've had these for 20 years. I mean, they were my first yoga blocks, and I can't even remember where I got them. But I have seen a set of yoga blocks at TJ Maxx for, I think it was $7.99. So that's not bad, and they may be better priced out there. So we're gonna start to shift the hips back, straightening that front leg. We'll go ahead and leave those front toes kind of pointed right now as we just start to get into this back leg. So the back right leg, start to feel it in the back of the calf and the back of the hamstring. Kind of see if you can get your hips adjusted, kind of shift from one side to the other. So one hip comes forward like you're shifting the hips from side to side. The hands are still on the block. I just want to move my arms out of the way so you could see. A set of weights would be nice, yeah. It took time for me to, get my weights. I have I may have skipped the 1 pound weight, but I think I have 2, 3, 5, 6, and 10. I think that's the set of weights, but I took my time to get them. When I got them, they were about $1 per pound. All right, so then we're gonna start to bring those front toes up to the sky and then start to feel the stretch in the back of the leg here even more. Lift up out of the heart here. So we're lifting up out of the heart here. So when I say that, I mean, we're not just collapsing here over our leg, even though you could do that. But here we just want to lift up, draw that navel in toward the spine as you exhale. It strengthens the back muscles. Ah, nice. And then we're going to start to walk those hands forward. I start to sink here a little bit, just taking care of your hips, listening to your hips. Whew. Maybe if you come out of it a little bit and then square the hips with the front of the mat. I know my head's kind of coming off of the screen, but that's okay. Nice tall spine and heart here. Then exhale, we're gonna shift those hips back once again. Yeah. And this time go ahead and bring those toes up, and maybe you notice it doesn't feel quite as, we've stretched those muscles out so it doesn't maybe feel quite that strong stretching feeling. It's not quite pain, but kinda. Another deep breath here. And then as we exhale, walk those blocks back. Yeah. If you're using blocks, you don't have to use blocks. And then begin to bring that right arm on the outside of that right foot. Palms are underneath the shoulders. And then we're gonna send that right leg back. Ooh, yeah. So once again, send the knees out nice and wide as the mat. The big toes gently touch here, sink the hips back, and then come on down. Bring the hands forward, kind of like, pretend your hands are like gecko hands and you're just walking forward. The heart comes to the floor, maybe, or you could, again, use a bolster here. You can even place it in the middle, underneath the heart. Can use blocks. Now, I cannot think of his name right now, but he's a somewhat famous yogi. What he does, or what he has shown before, is to take a blanket and roll it up partially here, and then place it like in your hip creases, okay? So get it in there nice and snug. And then we start to drape over that. And then if you've eaten, you may not want to do this because it's gonna press into the abdomen. It's gonna get into those hip flexors nice and deep. And then you're gonna roll over that. Maybe use some support under the head. I'm gonna switch to, there we go. And notice how it presses up into the abdomen and also into the hips. And if it's not doing it, maybe the blanket's rolled up too much and you might need to just unroll it just a little bit because you don't need a big pressure there. Even placing your fingers in between the hip flexors, if you don't have a blanket right now, you can place your fingers there and then lean over that, and that will get into the hip creases even more. So let's try that if you have a blanket or a towel, or you can just use your fingers there in the hip creases. Leaning over. That bolster, well, it's a rolled up blanket. And then here's where it gets kind of like you need some bravery to take some deep breaths. Nice deep breath, nice deep inhale, let the head relax. And feel the pressure that creates in the abdomen. Know that it's massaging your digestive system. Kind of soften the jaw here. And exhale, we're going to start to come out of that. Oh. Walking the hands back, removing the blanket if you decided to use that in our child's pose. And I will light a candle for us here. Yeah. All right. All right, let's come over to our sides. I'm going to start on this is my left side. You can roll over to your right side if we're facing the same way. All right. Maybe someone will follow again pretty soon, and then we can see all the flurries of emotes fly across the screen. All right, so here you can have like a pillow under your head, or you don't have to have one. It's completely optional. You can just use your arm and cradle your head here. And we're gonna start to stretch out our legs straight. Pretend, and Dragon Maiden is the one who came up with this imagery, which I love. Pretend you have a little tiny puppy that's sleeping right underneath this area, like super tiny, or maybe a kitten. So just pretend if you're a cat person or a dog person, whatever you like. Little tiny sleeping furry animal right here. Right here, like where my fingers are. So you don't want to just relax down into the floor, is kind of what I'm saying. You want to lift up out of that. You want to stretch your legs long. You want there to be tiny space underneath the waist, just tiny. And then the feet, pretend like with your big toes, you're going to be drawing equal signs on the wall down there. And pretend you have a glass of water or something that you're trying to balance here on the hip. So you want your hips to be still. And notice the shakes, and even my own legs here. Wow. You'll start to feel the top of the quads on the top leg, maybe the inner thigh of the bottom leg. Start to work. And then the core, you don't want to smush that tiny baby puppy right here. You want to keep that lifted. So that allows us to engage our pelvic floor. So drawing that up, engaging the abdomen muscles, keeping them working. And when you're ready, we'll lower on down. On your next exhale, we'll send the legs out. And this time we're going to exhale the top leg up. Flex that foot and inhale down. Point and lift. Flex and down. Mom Vaughn, did you see Benjamin emote flurry across the screen? I didn't. It was too fast. So here we're starting to get into the thighs. Yeah, hey kittens, Kilos Kung Fu. Who knows? She may have just decided to jump away and run away. And then lower down. Good. We're going to bring that knee in front, pointing it toward, I guess, kind of like at a 90-degree angle, so at the screen there. Hopefully she'll come back, though. Her name's Guinevere. So completely relax this top leg. Relax it. Then that bottom leg, and remember this tiny puppy here, so we're kind of keeping this area engaged on our abdomen. Small movements and lift up. Thank you, Guinevere. Yeah, I had a Lancelot at the time, and then Guinevere. I had to get a Guinevere for my Lancelot. So this leg's going to want to start to, press into the ground, but we want to relax that one. We want the work to come from that bottom leg only. It's not a very big range of motion here. It's a smaller movement. Relaxing. Just 3 more. You may start to feel it burning in around the knee. So Dragon Blue Goth, this may be a good knee exercise for you. And then release down. And then we're going to take it to the other side. Oh yeah, definitely. Oh my goodness, you're absolutely right. So we're going to come over to this other side. We're going to bring our little baby puppy with us and place it there, imaginary, underneath the waistline. And then stretch out both legs nice and long. Pretend we have maybe like a bowl of water that we're balancing here on our hip. And then start to draw our equal signs. Woo! Starting to go back and forth. Ah! You can use your hand on the floor if you'd like. Let the movement come like without moving the pelvis. So keep the pelvis still. Let the work be stabilized by the abdomen. And then also you'll feel the muscles in your legs working it, being worked, drawing those equal signs. Releasing down. One deep inhale and exhale here. Just go ahead and take advantage of, there's no puppy there, no baby puppy that we're trying to... Okay, and then we're going to get back into it here. This time we're going to exhale the top foot up. So the bottom foot is still kind of hovering over the floor. Flex that foot, inhale down. Feel tiny shakes here. Only looking to do about 10. Or until you're just like done, I'm like, I don't want to do anymore. Keeping the space here underneath the abdomen, keeping this bowl of water still on top of the hips. And releasing down, yay! Bringing that right knee over and up, and then really, let's just relax the whole body. Relax it down. And then the only thing that you're gonna start to engage is the abdomen. bringing space underneath the side waist, keeping this top leg relaxed, which is really difficult here, but you can do it. And then only using the bottom leg and lift it up, using that leg muscle. And I just noticed, I don't know if you can see, but leg is shaken. I think it's easy to cheat here too. You're just like, yeah, I can do this. But take your time, go slow. If this top leg starts to tighten up, just actively relax it down. It's your weak leg. Ooh. Hopefully this will help you. This is my weak leg too. I think yoga has been a key factor in these Pilates movements. So I call these, even though it's Pilates, since it's a yoga class, I call it yoga latte. We're doing yoga latte. And we're gonna release that down. And then we're finally gonna grab our strap. Like I said, we're gonna use it at the very beginning, right? All right. You can stay where you're at if you'd like. I'm just gonna come on this side, have my roll it on down, taking our strap. I've kind of have gotten away from these exercises. So Little Miss Space, like when you were here, we probably did these every class. But I've kind of gotten away from it, but I think it's really important because these are so easy to be able to do if you have a belt or even a towel you can use. So we're going to take that strap around the ball of the right foot, and then both feet are flexed here. Taking the strap into the left hand, so opposite hand, and then your right arm goes out by your side. These are really good exercises to revisit because even this, and then you draw your right foot across the body, and then you start to feel it in this right hip. Hey, best day ever. I love your name. I love it. I think it's like the best name ever. So here we keep our feet flexed, both of them, as we draw the foot across the body, and then your left foot that's out straight, you're gonna start to let those toes fall outward, away from the body, and then that outside edge of that foot may come down to the floor as you take your foot across the body. Now I have to be mindful, I've got a candle back there. I can feel the heat from it. I'm gonna push it out of the way just slightly. Oh, this feels amazing. Feels particularly good after doing those exercises that we did. Yes, absolutely. Oh, this stretch, you're right, Little Miss Bass. I'm kind of glad. I was going to do it at the first of the class, but I'm kind of glad we waited till the very end. If it starts to feel too much, you can come out and then maybe come back in, keeping both feet flexed. Oh my goodness. Oh, so beautiful. Thank you for following. This feels actually super duper good. Just breathe and then try to actively relax here. Oh. Maybe take small circles with that foot. Circling the other way. And your foot doesn't have to come all the way down. It doesn't even have to come all the way across. It can just come to wherever you're at today. And then draw that foot back up. Those left toes point back up to the sky here. We're going to take the strap into the same side hand. Send the left arm out to the side. Maybe slide that right hand down the strap, maybe placing the right elbow down. So now we've got both elbows down on the floor. And then that right foot comes out to the side. Now I've done this before where it felt like my leg was kind of pressing up into my joint, my hip joint. If that's happening, just adjust, make micro adjustments so that it feels nice for you. Continue to keep both feet flexed. Try to keep the sacrum like even on the floor. Even. So you may want to rock, your body may want to rock back and forth. The right hip may want to come off the floor. See if you can keep that right hip down. And that's why we have both elbows down, so we can help stabilize our body. And then exhale back to the sky. Very nice. So we're gonna switch to the other leg. So you can switch in the air. So if you like to do that, you can bring that left leg up into the strap, or you can switch down on the floor. Either way, however works best for you. There's no like proper protocol for that. It's just whatever works best for you. We're gonna relax the shoulders away from the ears, and we're gonna take the strap into the opposite hand. So left leg up, right hand is holding that strap. Left arm is going out to the side. And here we go, we're gonna start to draw that foot across the body. Those right toes are gonna start to point outward, away from the body. And that the right outside edge of the foot without the strap, will come over to its outside edge. Hi, you see the bottom of my foot there? So the foot doesn't have to come all the way down. I mean, you just go where is best for you, keeping your left shoulder down on the floor, left arm down on the floor, or this cactus arm here if you like, or choo-choo train arm. And then you'll take your gaze away from that foot. So you'll take it in the opposite direction. Keeping both feet flexed. Awesome. Left is looser. Okay, cool. Yeah. Oh. Maybe it's from all the hip opening that we did earlier in the practice. Oh. Remembering to breathe nice and deeply. Maybe circling the toe, like you're tracing an apple or an orange in one direction. And then tracing it the other way. And when you're ready, exhale that foot up to the sky, and then bring those right toes up, pointing toward the sky again. We're gonna grab the strap with the left hand, left foot, left hand are in the strap. Right arm goes down by your side, or you can bend that elbow, up to you. Do what's right for you. When you're ready, you're gonna start to slide that left hand down the strap until the left elbow comes to the floor. So this is what's gonna help us so that if I didn't have my arms, it would be really super easy for me to let that right hip come off, and that's what we don't want. We don't want that hip to come. We want to keep that hip down on the floor. So use your upper arms, your elbows and shoulders. Use your core here. Draw that navel in toward your spine. And the foot doesn't have to go out. Like, don't feel pressure to have it like it has to go way out. It may only go to like a 45-degree angle. If this were a clock, I might go to 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, rock, whatever works best for you. I even feel a stretch here in my right hip. That's actually my left hip, but. Trying to keep that sacrum flat on the floor. All right. We're gonna bring both feet up into the strap, kind of the inversion here for our practice. Just testing the waters here to see, like, where do my fingers touch my toes here? No. And that's why we have a strap or a towel or whatever you have as a prop here. Draw those toes toward the face. The knees can have a slight soft bend if you need. It's up to you. This is your practice. Maybe you glide your hands up from as far as you can reach and down. Maybe point one set of toes, then the other. And exhale, release the strap, bend the knees, hug those knees into the chest, give them some love. Circle those knees. One direction and then the other. We're going to hug one knee into the chest, extend the opposite leg out. And then we're going to switch to the other side. And breathe. Switching if you like, or you can stay on one side longer than the other. Just do what's right for you today. Feels really good. Maybe bringing both knees in, separating the knees apart, sending the heels up toward the sky, flexing those toes, maybe grabbing the big toes, the ankles, behind the thighs, whatever works best for you. Happy baby. The sacrum may want to come off of the floor, see if you can press that down. Hug the knees to the chest once more, and then bring one heel at a time down to the floor. If you have a bolster or a pillow, go ahead and feel free to grab that and place under the knees. And I'm going to sit up, but go ahead and stay down if you want to as we go into prepare in our Shavasana. This is actually a super amazing pose. I know it's the pose that it's like, oh, we're just laying there. We don't want to just lay there, but this is where we integrate everything that we've done in our practice and let that settle and work its way into our bodies. Super important. So if you can, stay. If you can. If you can't, I understand. Tomorrow we have yoga for healthy lungs. So maybe you can come do some yoga to help our lungs. And in this final pose, begin to get nice and comfortable, nice and heavy. So feel the body sinking into the floor. Taking a deep breath in through the nose and exhale out the mouth, nice and deep and slow, sighing that out. And do that again, and just notice how the breath helps the body to feel more calm. Maybe more relaxed. Let the shoulders feel heavy and tuck your shoulders underneath, your shoulder blades underneath your body. Have your arms out, maybe at a 45-degree angle with palms up or in. If that's not comfortable, you're welcome to rest your palms on your abdomen as you lie down. Soften the jaw and let your eyes feel heavy in your eye sockets. Feel your head being completely supported by whatever you're laying on. Bring your attention to your shoulder blades, your spine, middle back, lower back, and your hips. Imagine your hips were made of soft, warm clay. Just relaxing into the floor. Arms and legs feel heavy. Take your awareness to your knees, into the heels, soles of your feet, and all 10 toes. Completely melt here. Bring to your awareness your intention. This is the best day ever. I accept my uniqueness. I am beautiful. Those are just a few examples. You may already have one that you're using. If you do, just focus on your breath for the next few moments. And we'll give those who want to find an intention some time to do so. And now imagine as if your intention had already happened, as if you're already experiencing it. And really focus on the feelings and the emotions that you would experience and draw from the fulfillment of your intention. What does it feel like? And now say with those feelings, your intention in your mind 3 times. And with gratitude, go ahead and let your intention go for now. And we'll take our awareness around our body. Become aware of your right hand. Take all your awareness to your right hand thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, pinky, palm of the hand, back of the hand, right wrist, right forearm, elbow, upper arm, right shoulder, right armpit, right side of the ribs, right side waist, right hip, right thigh, knee, lower leg, ankle, heel, sole of the foot, top of the foot, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe. Now take your awareness to your left hand thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, pinky, palm of the hand, back of the hand, left wrist, left forearm, elbow, upper arm, left shoulder, armpit, left side ribs, left side waist, left hip, left thigh, knee, lower leg, ankle, heel, sole of the foot, top of the foot, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, take your awareness to your natural breath and begin to count your breaths from 10 and down on your own every exhale. If you lose track, don't worry, it's okay. Just start again at 10. And let your counting of the breath go. And remember your intention one more time with the same emotion you had before. Say it in your mind 3 times. Begin to bring your awareness to your arms and legs. Bring some gentle movement into fingers and toes, very gently, very slowly, taking your time. Take a deeper inhale and exhale that out. Drawing perhaps your knees in toward your chest, hugging yourself into a little ball. When you're ready, rolling over to one side if you like. Or if you don't like, you can stay lying down and just relax, tuning me out. But feel free to roll over to one side and take your time to press yourself up into an easy, comfortable seat. Thank you so much for your practice. I hope that this practice has really emphasized how important you are. You are so important. The divine light and grace that is in me recognizes and is so thankful for the divine light and grace that is absolutely in you. Namaste.